Hey guys, Like Butter here, and welcome to my Gears of War 3 Gnasher tutorial. This has been requested by many people, and I decided to go ahead and go through with it and show you guys some tips and tricks on how to get better with the Gnasher Shotgun, and also what I do to put myself at an advantage over my opponents. Now, I'm going to break this down exactly like I did for my sniper tutorial, which has amazing results. I do want to let you know. It has over 60,000 views, and you guys really enjoyed it, so I went ahead and did the Gnasher tutorial as requested, and I'm going to show you guys some tips and tricks, not only for beginning players, but also for players who have had a lot of experience with the Gnasher Shotgun. I've been using the Gnasher Shotgun since Gears of War 1, and although the Gears 1 and Gears 3 Gnasher are a little bit different, you could pretty much say I've been using the weapon an extremely long time. Now, if you guys listen to my tips about the Gnasher and do the things I tell you to get better, you will become better with the Gnasher Shotgun. So let's get into it. Now, the first thing I'm going to go over is the same thing that I went over in my sniper tutorial, and that is you have to get your sensitivity to your liking. Now, I'm going to go over things such as strafing and wall bouncing in this tutorial, and for that, I would play on an extremely high sensitivity. As you can see, I play on 20/20/18, and in order to have a really good strafe, you need your sensitivity to be high. So try it out, and remember, if you're playing on a low sensitivity, work your way up slowly until you can get to a sensitivity around what I'm playing at. Now let's go over some basic terms, so when I refer to these terms, you guys know what I'm talking about. Now, the first type of shot is the hard aim. Basically what you do is you hold the left trigger and you take the shot with the Gnasher. Now, this is a different type of shot. What you're going to do is tap the left trigger before you hit the right trigger, and as you can see, it's going to pop up for a split second. This is considered as a pop shot. And then the final one, the hip fire. And this is also known as the blind fire, but most commonly with a shotgun, it's called a hip fire. So now that you know the terms, let's get into the dynamics of the shotgun really quick. So this is pretty much a given, but you guys know that the Gnasher is a one-shot kill from short range. Even a little bit out of melee range, it's still a one-shot with or without an active. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but the active reload is a huge part of being good with the Gnasher Shotgun, and I'm going to show you guys some examples in a bit. But what I do is I break down the ranges in 3 different parts. Now, we have close range, which is what I just showed. This is the medium range. As you can see, medium range is always going to be a 2-shot kill without an active, and with an active it will be a 1-shot down, regardless if it's a hard aim or a hip fire. So as you can see, the active reload is actually an extremely huge asset to a shoddy battle. There's a lot of people out there who actually think the active reload is just to reload faster, when in fact it actually makes the bullets extremely stronger. This is a demonstration I did with my friend to show that it's 2 shots without an active and it's 1 shot with an active. You'll be able to see when I shoot him and also when I'm taking the damage. And the last level of ranges is long range. Now, I really don't recommend using the Gnasher outside of this distance, but there are some exceptions to that. Like if you have your opponent completely full red and you know 1 shot might down him, as you can see in this example right here, this would be pretty much your only reason to use it outside of this range. So in long range, it is still 2 shots regardless if it's an active or not an active with hard aims. But you have to make sure to know that when they're moving and stuff, sometimes they do eat bullets, so I wouldn't count on it being a 2-shot kill. Hitting your shots in these long range situations are extremely important because remember, this is where you're going to kill those sawed-off users. In this next segment, I'm going to be talking about movement, because as most of you guys know, aiming and distance is only half the battle. You got to have good movement if you want to be good with the shotgun. Now, I'm going to break down movement into 2 parts, strafing and wall bouncing. Wall bouncing was very successful in Gears of War 1, and it can be somewhat successful in Gears 3, but what you guys are going to realize is that strafing is one of the most important moves in this game. Anyone with a good strafe will outplay somebody who's good at wall bouncing, because remember, there are some situations when there's no walls to bounce on. Let's first talk about the wall bounce. Okay, so like usual, let's go over the basics first. Now, let's tell you guys exactly how to wall bounce step by step. It's really easy. All you have to do is press A or whatever. If you have alternate control scheme, it might be a little different, but for the regular settings, you're going to tap A to slide into the wall. Make sure you're close enough to the wall, of course, and you're going to actually pull back on the left thumbstick right as you're mid-slide, and basically what it's going to do is it's going to cancel you off the wall. Now this is known as wall bouncing in Gears of War 3, but in Gears of War 1 you couldn't cancel when you were mid-slide. So the reason it was so hard to hit people when they were wall bouncing is because it actually made the animation faster than if they were actually to run or something like that. So it was really difficult to hit them. So as you can see in this little demonstration, all you have to do is slide into the wall by tapping A and pull back with the left thumbstick. If you're trying to immediately slide into another wall, remember to use the right thumbstick for the direction. So after you pull off with the left thumbstick, you turn and then repeat the process. I noticed that most of the time I use wall bouncing to either get the upper hand on my opponent or to evade multiple enemies. Evading multiple enemies, sometimes you need the wall bounce to kind of get out of an area or to confuse them. So that's really the only time I ever use wall bouncing. As you can see in this short clip here, I wall bounced so that I could get the upper hand on him and get him lined up with my shotgun. You don't want to wall bounce into somebody when you have the advantage in a shotgun battle, because as you can see in this short clip here, it is extremely easy to kill somebody when they're bouncing towards you. One of the most useful things I've ever learned about wall bouncing is if somebody's playing a wall or a pillar and you know you have them full red, you can always use a wall that's either on the right or left of you to bounce to stay out wide and get a good angle on them and hit that last shot, as you can see in this demonstration here that I did with my friend. But remember, you usually want to bounce out the right side because you have right-hand advantage, and if he has right-hand advantage, he might one-shot you, so you always got to keep that in mind. Okay, now that you know how to wall bounce, this is where it's going to get interesting. Now this is basically how you strafe. Now the basic way of how to do this is to use the left and right thumbsticks to basically move your character left and right to make yourself a very hard target. Now you normally don't want a pop shot when doing this, and remember, if you don't remember what a pop shot is, go back to the part of the video that explains it. The reason for that is because it stops your movement. So when strafing, you probably around 95% of the time want to use a hip fire. This is the most useful tactic in being good with the Gnasher Shotgun, because if your opponent can't hit you, it gives you some extra time to line up your shots, and it really makes you a hard target to hit, especially when there's 2 or 3 guys fighting you at once. I suggest going into a private match and practicing a little bit. Sometimes you want to turn your character to actually make your opponent think you're walking a certain direction and then go back. As you can see in this demonstration here, there are a few different lengths that you can do your strafe. Sometimes you can do a long strafe and sometimes you can do a short strafe, depending on what you like and where you hit most of your shots. A mixture of the both is always the best tactic in evading your opponent. The reason I'm so hard to hit in a shotgun battle is because I don't even know where I'm going. So how is my opponent supposed to know where I'm going? I'm just simply going off straight reflexes. Now here's a good demonstration of when I was strafing to make my opponent miss. Now I pick up the first 2 kills, no need to strafe because I was behind them. But I'm going to kill him and then I'm going to strafe my opponent for the quad. And then I'm going to move down here and once again outplay another opponent with the strafe. And this is the best demonstration of it all. I'm basically going to run down here and I'm going to fight a 1v1. Now, what you guys have to notice about this 1v1 is he actually almost got 2 or 3 shots off at me and didn't get to land 1 shot because of my good movement. Now here's a great example of the mixture of the both. Now I mantle kick, get the kill, and as you can see, I'm using my strafe and a little bit of wall bounce and finish that clip with a strafe. As you can see, a mixture of the both is the best attack against your opponent. And remember, when hip firing the shotgun, the bullets don't go to the middle of the screen like Gears of War 1. Remember when I mentioned the blindy box for the sniper? Well, it works the same way for the shotgun. Once you've practiced strafing and wall bouncing for a while, you can start throwing in special moves into your arsenal. I'm going to give you one called the shoulder lean. Now the reason I call it the shoulder lean is because you pretty much do just that. Like you can see in this demonstration here, basically once you're strafing your opponent, and this usually works in a 1v1 shotgun battle, you're going to hold either left or right, and then you're going to hold down the A button. Now basically what this is going to do is it's going to make your guy either jolt to the left or the right, and you just want to do it for a split second though, because you don't want to run in a straight line and have your opponent hard aim you. So after you do it just for a split second, you strafe back to your opponent and you kill him. Now this is extremely useful because the movement actually works like a strafe, but it's really unexpected and your opponent will be pretty much shitting their pants once you do it to them. Now this next thing I'm going to say goes hand in hand with the shoulder lean. A lot of times people are sitting on a wall or a corner of a wall or something like that. Now I'm going to show you guys how to actually get leverage and get the advantage in the shotgun battle when they're sitting behind cover. As you can see in this demonstration here, there is someone sitting behind cover. So instead of sliding into the wall and giving them a free kill, what I do is I actually run past them and strafe back. Now what this does is, as you can see, when you're on the left side of a wall and you try to get off, it actually takes longer than if you were to get off the wall on the right side. This is something they added to give the person that has right hand the advantage. So after you strafe back, you are clearly in position and you are the aggressor. Remember, the more aggressive player, as long as you play smart, will usually come out a winner in the 1v1 shotgun battle. Now let's listen to Spev's reaction when I showed him this move.
Dude, what the? What? What? There's no way that just happened, dude.
Now this is the last move I'm going to show you before I end this tutorial. This move is actually extremely useful and I haven't seen too many people do it. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to transfer. Now once you are mid-transfer, you're going to actually hold up in A, and what that is going to do is it's going to make your guy run out of the transfer and you can actually do the move that I just showed you guys. Now the reason this is so successful is because a smart player, believe it or not, would be waiting for you to get to the other side to hit his shot. So by doing that, you're actually catching him extremely off guard, and to be honest, people will really not expect this. These are some examples of live gameplay. Before you guys go, I'm going to tell you guys one more thing that I don't see many people do. Remember, if you have your opponent hurt, why get close enough for them to one-shot you? You have the advantage, so don't get close. Remember how I stated in the beginning of the video where the one-shot range is. Now that you have all the tools to becoming great with the Gnasher Shotgun, all you have to do is put in the time and the effort and you will become a better player. If you guys enjoyed this tutorial, please leave me a like and favorite this video, because this did take me even longer than my sniper tutorial, which is absolutely mind-boggling. It took me forever to get these situations and put them together. As you can see on the screen right here, I have my sniper tutorial and I have my 3 montages that came out since Gears of War 3 was released. Now if you guys could go check out those videos, you could see a lot of the situations that I'm talking about in this tutorial, and it will really help you out. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Good luck, guys.